Farm Credit supports rural communities and agriculture with reliable, consistent credit and financial services in good times and bad. We provide loans to farmers and ranchers, farmer-owned cooperatives, rural homebuyers, agribusinesses, and rural infrastructure providers. As cooperatives, we're locally owned and governed. We help agricultural producers feed the world. For America's farmers, Farm Credit, supporting rural communities and agriculture. Learn more today.
We're still waking up every morning, and we're putting our boots on, and we're going to work, and we're farming. That's all we know how to do. So we're going to continue to do that.
We are going to continue to produce food enough for the entire country.
It's far from business as usual in cities and towns across America. But we want you to know that America's farmers and ranchers are still farming, working diligently in their fields, barns, and orchards to continue feeding America today and tomorrow, just like we do 365 days a year.
Farmers care. Otherwise, they wouldn't go into the season totally unknowing if there's going to be a 2021 season for them. I think they do that every year. I think that's the salt of the earth, good heart of people who grow food.
We're proud to serve the men and women who treat their work as a calling, not a job. Of course, farmers can't do it alone. To all the farm suppliers and grocery store clerks, thank you. We do not take you for granted. Resiliency is part of farming, and believing in tomorrow is core to a farmer's creed. We are all in this together.
He's strong.
So a little kid grows up, decides he wants to be a farmer. It's not because he wants to play the market or make big business decisions or fool with the crop insurance.
It's the stewardship of the land, the challenge of producing a bumper crop, and everything else that goes into that.
We create a market where he can sell his product.
There's nothing quite as gratifying and as rewarding as people in agriculture that are working with a mission to feed the world.
Good evening and welcome to the 51st Taste of Maryland Agriculture. I'm Susan Summers, Executive Director of the Maryland Agriculture Council. And on behalf of our Board of Directors, we welcome you to our virtual gathering to celebrate Maryland agriculture and its importance to the state's economy and its people. We would much rather be greeting each other in person and enjoying a bountiful spread of Maryland products together. But this has been a challenging year for all of us, and it's important to stay safe and healthy. The Maryland Agriculture Council leaders didn't want the pandemic to stop us from fulfilling our mission to promote Maryland agriculture and to educate the public on its importance. We have much to celebrate, so we hope you have some local products to eat and drink as you view tonight's program. We would like to thank Randy and Mary Mariner and the crew here at Manor Hill Brewing, longtime supporters with their product and their presence, for hosting us here in Ellicott City. And now it's my honor to introduce to you our president, Nancy Nunn.
Good evening. On behalf of the board of the Maryland Agriculture Council, welcome to the 51st Taste of Maryland Agriculture event. We appreciate you welcoming us into your home for this evening. Like you, we are disappointed that we're unable to be together in person to enjoy an evening of friendship and a bounty of Maryland's food. To cast a positive light on the situation, you're not spending time looking for a parking space or worrying about the weather. We invite you to sit back and enjoy the evening's program. Throughout this past year, many of our daily routines have changed. Dining room tables have become offices and classrooms as we transition to working and teaching at home. Gatherings became smaller. In-person meetings were replaced by Zoom and other online platforms. Like every sector, Maryland's agriculture community had to transition and pivot. Tractor cabs, automobiles, and barns became familiar meeting backdrops. We learned new skills to deal with online platforms through the next generation. I recently spoke to several producers who had learned how to sell their products online when their wholesale orders dwindled. Others spoke of working together to create new markets. Those engaged in agritourism operations have expanded outdoor eating and gathering areas to address increased public demand. As I listened to producers across the state, there was a theme of optimism and recognition that the current situation brought obstacles, but also new opportunities. Increased consumer recognition of the importance of Maryland's agriculture to their lives became apparent to the public on a daily basis. As Aldo Leopold noted, there are two spiritual dangers in not owning a farm. One is the danger of supposing that breakfast comes from the grocery, and the other that heat comes from the furnace. The agriculture community's ability to adapt to change is not a surprise to any of us listening this evening. Farming is a lifetime of adapting to weather, economic factors, and world events. Wendell Berry wrote, "Over a long time, the coming and passing of several generations, the old farm had settled into its patterns and cycles of work, its annual plowing, moving from field to field, its animals arriving by birth or purchase, feeding and growing, thriving and departing. Its patterns and cycles were virtually the farm's own understanding of what it was doing, of what it could do without diminishment. It tightened and slackened, shifted and changed in response to the markets and the weather. The Depression had changed it somewhat, and so had the war. The farm, so to speak, desired all of its life to flourish. Throughout this past year, you have continued the cycles of farming. Spring and summer brought the planting and tending of crops. In the fall, the harvest was completed. And as we head into another spring, yet another cycle begins. The sight of a tractor, the growth in the fields, the harvesting of the crops represents the normalcy that so many of us crave. The county fairs were also a great cause for celebration this year. Congratulations and thank you to the organizers and participants throughout the state. We recognize the participants' hard work in raising animals, growing crops, sowing, and other projects. We admire the organizers' ability to adapt to the times and create virtual auctions. We look forward to continuing to watch as the participants grow into leadership roles in Maryland's agriculture. And we are pleased to have some of them with us this evening to lead our toast. In addition, we would also like to acknowledge the ingenuity of everyone in agribusiness, extension, and other organizations that engage and assist our community. We have witnessed your efforts to embrace this situation and continue to provide the services needed. Thank you. Maryland's farmers have remained steadfast in their roles as stewards of their land and leaders in conservation practices. The state continues to be a national leader in the use of cover crops. In 2020, you planted more than 420,000 acres of cover crops, despite heavy rains and poor field conditions. You also transported more than 309,000 tons of manure with the support of the Manure Transport Program. And 5 new conservation drainage practices are now eligible for cost share funding. During this grant period, you will hear about some of the innovative approaches and projects that have been awarded funding. In closing, I want to say thank you. Thank you for all that you do for Maryland agriculture, your communities, and the state. As Wendell Berry said, good farmers who take seriously their duties as stewards of creation and of their land's inheritors contribute to the welfare of society in more ways than society usually acknowledges or even knows. You are the teachers, the food suppliers, the conservation stewards, and the leaders that reminds each and every one of us that together we will get through this situation and flourish like the land. Thank you. For the past 7 years, we've had the privilege to host Governor Larry Hogan at the Taste of Maryland Agriculture. During this most challenging year, we appreciate his continued support for the health and safety of workers in our agricultural industry. We've truly been in this together. We thank him for sharing some time with us this evening.
Good afternoon. It's an honor to join you virtually for the 51st annual Taste of Maryland Agriculture event. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused and is continuing to cause great hardship for so many people, and our farmers and agricultural businesses are certainly no exception. Yet they have continued working hard every single day throughout this crisis to keep our food supply chain functioning with minimal interruptions. It's why last October we announced a new $10 million State of Maryland Relief Program, which is providing direct payments to thousands of Maryland farmers, growers, and producers who have been impacted by COVID-19. Tonight, I am excited to introduce our newest inductee into the Governor's Agricultural Hall of Fame, the Sandra Cross family of Prince George's County. Congratulations. As we continue on the road to recovery, I thank you all for everything you do to keep our state moving forward and open for business.
Good evening. My name is Mike Harrison Jr., and I'm pleased to be your Vice President of the Maryland Ag Council for 2021. The next generation of agricultural leaders is an impressive bunch. It's time to raise a glass and join our youth leaders and commodity royalty in a toast to Maryland agriculture.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 51st Taste of Maryland Agriculture.
Though this is not the year any of us expected, we thank you for joining us virtually.
Agriculture is Maryland's largest commercial industry, employing over 350,000 people and contributing over $8 billion to our economy.
Agriculture plays a crucial role in our communities, our environment, and our economy.
From the plains of the Eastern Shore to mountains of Western Maryland, and from the tip of Southern Maryland to the Mason-Dixon line,
there are farmers and agricultural supporters working to keep food on our plate, clothes on our back, and landscapes and open spaces for us to enjoy.
And during these difficult times of a global pandemic, it is important to recognize these hardworking, essential men and women.
We also want to thank our legislator and political leaders for working with agricultural leaders to ensure a sustainable future for farming in Maryland and supporting agricultural education.
So, let us take a moment to raise our glasses to celebrate Maryland's agriculture and all of the people working tirelessly to provide for us.
We appreciate you and all that you do.
Cheers! Having the support of our elected leaders has helped sustain the agricultural industry in Maryland. We thank both Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford and Comptroller Peter Francho for their understanding of our rural and farming communities. Please enjoy what they have to say.
Good evening. I'm Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford, and I am happy to bring you greetings and thank you for your tireless efforts during this extraordinary year. Our farming communities are the backbone of this great state, providing local, healthy foods and a multitude of products all grown in an environmentally conscious way. You are the caretakers of our wide open spaces, some of the most beautiful vistas in Western Maryland, on the Eastern Shore, and everywhere in between. As we all continue to make our way through this COVID-19 pandemic, we have truly learned who is essential to our lives. Farmers and the agricultural community at large have been a stabilizing force, never stopping, still delivering. We, the citizens of this great state, owe you a debt of gratitude. I look forward to gathering with you in the future, maybe on a farm in the summer, or next February at the 52nd Taste of Maryland Agriculture. Until then, stay safe and healthy, and thank you for all that you do to keep Maryland strong.
Hi, this is Peter Francho, Comptroller of the great state of Maryland. While I'm disappointed we won't be able to meet in person and enjoy some of the farming community's favorite dishes, typically featured as the 2021 Taste of Agriculture event, I'm honored the Maryland Agriculture Council has asked me to share a few words with you during this virtual get-together. Maryland's agriculture industry has long been one of the main pillars of our economy, and I can always count on the leadership of the Maryland Agriculture Council to share and promote its importance. During this year's virtual Taste of Agriculture event, we will see present and future stars of Maryland's agricultural industry honored. These folks who are hardworking, smart, and innovative have learned to adjust their operations over the years to meet the challenges that come your way. And now we have asked you to carry on operations during a worldwide health pandemic to keep our food supply flowing. Yet despite the odds being against you this year, you have continued to succeed. Farmers provide our food, they provide fuel, and they provide jobs for thousands of people across the state. Maryland and its economy would not be the same without the agricultural products. But more importantly, it wouldn't be the same without you, the people who run our farms, mills, nurseries, and everything in between. In closing, enjoy this virtual Taste of Agriculture event. Congratulations to all this year's honorees, and please stay safe. We'll see each other soon again in person.
Good evening. My name is Chuck Schuster, and I had the opportunity to serve as the grants chairman this year and had the privilege to review many outstanding applications for the Maryland Agricultural Education Grants Program. Tonight, we are excited to announce the 7 recipients and learn more about their worthwhile projects. The McDonough FFA chapter. This FFA chapter at McDonough High School was established during the past year. The $1,000 grant will be used to purchase materials to build a hoop house so the students can plant lettuce, spinach, and microgreens. The goal is to provide fresh salads to the cafeteria for staff lunches with the hope to grow enough in the future for student lunches. Ultimately, they would like to have enough production in the hoop house to donate to the local soup kitchen in Waldorf, Maryland. The Maryland Agricultural Education Foundation. The Maryland Agricultural Education Foundation is updating its amazing Maryland Agriculture book to reflect new data from the 2017 Ag Census and increase diversity and career content. The $1,000 grant will be used to publish and distribute 15 copies to every elementary school throughout Maryland. Grow and Fortify. Grow and Fortify will launch a video series in 2021 highlighting Maryland's value-added agricultural industry. The $800 grant will be used for producing videos featuring growers, processors, manufacturers, and operators across the state. The goal is to explain value-added agriculture, its diversity, and what it contributes to our economy, character, and quality of life. Supporting local agricultural businesses has become even more important in this time of COVID-19, and consumers have a renewed interest in purchasing from their neighbors. Bringing attention to the faces behind the industry will hopefully drive more folks to buy locally. The St. Mary's County 4-H program. A $700 grant will go to the St. Mary's County 4-H program as they offer the agricultural literacy program Agsploration to middle school students and Acres of Adventures for elementary students. Train the Trainer programs for teachers and youth development professionals will also be included. Over 600 youth will be part of these school and after-school programs and camps. The Oakland FFA chapter. The Oakland FFA chapter at South Garrett High School will use its $650 grant to update and replace parts of its hydroponic system. Students in the agricultural education program currently grow greens and kale. Vegetables are used in the school cafeteria for the school lunches. Repairs and updates will allow students to produce more and make a larger impact to the school and to the community. Oakdale FFA chapter. Located in a fast-developing area of Frederick County, Oakdale High School's FFA chapter will use the $450 grant to purchase materials to construct and install 3 educational signs. The chapter's plant and animal science greenhouse and fenced-in outdoor classroom are located next to a heavily traveled sidewalk and street. The signage will serve both as an educational and marketing tool. Clear Spring FFA chapter. Agricultural education students at Clear Spring High School will use the $400 grant to purchase a pumpkin seed planter to expand its production beyond traditional crops they raise on their 28-acre farm. The project will include hands-on learning, planning and planting, marketing through a pick-your-own experience at its annual Fall Fest, and using the pumpkins in fall-themed floral arrangements for events and sales. Congratulations to all our winners. If you are interested in applying for the next round of grants, go to our website, marylandagcouncil.com, for all of the information. And now, we are pleased to share messages from our legislative leaders, Speaker of the House, Adrian Jones, and Senate President Bill Ferguson.
Hi, I'm Speaker Adrian Jones, and welcome to the virtual 2021 Taste of Maryland Agriculture event. This is the 51st year for the Taste of Maryland Agriculture. I want to thank everyone for participating today and for all the work you do to make agriculture Maryland's #1 commercial industry. While things are going to look a lot different than in years past, the Maryland Agriculture Council has done a fantastic job putting this event together, given the circumstances. There will be a variety of presentations, including highlights of youth agriculture leaders, awarding agricultural education grants, and introduction of the Governor's Agricultural Hall of Fame family. Maryland farmers are resilient, hardworking, and dedicated people. I support the mission of the Taste of Maryland Agriculture event to educate the public and speak to the importance of this industry. Once again, thank you all for being a part of this important event.
Greetings to the Maryland Agriculture Council. It is a pleasure to be here virtually with you all. Thank you for attending today, and thank you for your ongoing work. This COVID-19 pandemic has been something none of us could have ever expected. But what we know is that we've needed agriculture more than ever. And with Maryland having agriculture as its top industry, we just are so thankful for the work that you have done throughout this year to get us through this crisis. I also want to give my sincere congratulations to the winner of the Governor's Hall of Fame Award, joining 50 prestigious families who have impacted Maryland's past and future. So thank you. Thank you for supporting the Maryland Agriculture Council. When this all is over, I can't wait to see you in person. We have a lot of great work to do together in the years ahead.
While we look forward to gathering in person next year, we want to take a moment to thank our friends at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie. As many of you know, Michael's has closed its doors. For over 20 years, the Wagner family and management and staff at Michael's helped us create some special evenings and wonderful memories. We will miss their professionalism and camaraderie. Special thanks to General Manager and Chef Daniel Rendelich, Facilities Manager Mike Hardman, and Hospitality Queen Connie Woods. You were the dream team in event management, and we will miss you. Plans are underway to find a new venue for the 52nd Taste of Maryland Agriculture. Stay posted on the Maryland Agriculture website and social media.
Since 1991, the Governor's Agricultural Hall of Fame family has been introduced at this event. Tonight will be no exception as we welcome another deserving family. Please welcome Secretary of Agriculture Joe Bartenfelter for the Hall of Fame family presentation.
Good evening, everyone. Again, it's a pleasure and honor for me to be here with all of you to present and honor another family in the Governor's Maryland Agriculture Hall of Fame. With that being said, I want to thank Susan Summers and the entire State Ag Council for the work that they put together in putting this virtual event together. It's a lot different than what our Ag Dinner always has been, but nevertheless, we're all here together. With that being said, I want to also thank the Governor for his work in putting agriculture first here in our state. He's been recognized around the state and around the country as being a friend of agriculture and our farmers. Now a little bit about our family, the Cross family from Southern Maryland, Prince George's County. Generations of a farm family that have worked together to make sure not only that the farms stayed together and in operation, but also a Southern States franchise in Brandywine. They've been leaders for Southern Maryland and leaders in agriculture in this state. And without any further ado, I want to present the Cross family.
I am Sandy Cross. We have been here for close to 100 years right here on this farm. It's so important to us to be there for the public and for the community to know I don't have to run out to get some whatever someplace else. I can stop by R&D Cross and see if they have it. And that makes me proud because service is what we have been all about. I first found a newsletter that the school had done, and there was an ad that said R&L Cross, which was Russell and Lewis, the two brothers. They were approached by Maryland tobacco growers, which was the cooperative that began in this area. It's a puzzle how it all worked out, but they became tobacco buyers for the farmers in this area. There were no tobacco markets locally, so this was a really strong indication that they were doing things to reach out to help the community. It was just a tiny little building. They only carried things like the area farmers would need, and they used to strip their tobacco in the basement. The farmers would come in, they'd pull up a hand of tobacco and they'd sit there and strip with you, and while they were there they might pick up a bag or two of fertilizer or maybe a bag of feed. That's how it started out.
I'm Dave. I'm the oldest son, or the oldest of the three children. Tobacco was, when we grew up, was all we knew. We actually did all of the stripping of the tobacco in the basement of the store, and customers would come in and, we're waiting on customers. Our hands are full of tobacco gum and, but that's just what we did.
The business was growing and we're still depending on the income from the farm. And as things changed, my husband began to be less active due to his health. We talked and decided it was time we stopped raising tobacco. And really, the store was taking so much time, where when we were first in the little store, they'd go out in the field and be working in the crops. And this one at 9 years old was out running the store. There weren't that many customers, but you wanted to be there if there was somebody that needed something to help their farm.
I'm Susan. I'm the youngest. We just strive on the customer service and really going that extra mile. So when customers come in, we help them load their vehicles and welcome them and greet them. And I don't think they get that in the big box stores versus here, where we really go up and we're personalized. If we don't know the customers, we get to know them. Ask them personal things about their animals or their farm. You get to know them. And when they come back, you remember them. And I think that makes a difference.
Grew up on the farm doing farming stuff, but one of those organizations that the family's been involved in was the volunteer fire department. Joined when I was 16, kind of following my grandfather and father's footsteps. Became involved in it and fell in love with it. So I took my professional career into the fire service. My first home was in Waldorf, in a neighborhood community, and it just wasn't the same. After a few years doing that, we were looking to come back to the farm and made our home here on the farm.
When we first started out with just my three, I know when you look back, we couldn't have gotten deliveries done some days if Mike wasn't here to drive the truck. Our kids pitched in and it was part of life.
The store has become, it's the backbone of what we do, and I'm very proud to have my brother-in-law, my brother, my sister, and all of our family involved, and almost all the grandchildren have been involved. Some still work there now, some come home from college and work. We've been very fortunate for whatever it is, 100, 110 years, whatever the math is, and that we've all been a part of that.
We've always kind of gotten along. Obviously, there's always issues, but we work it out. We've always worked well together, I think. I don't know what the secret is. Mom.
I'm so fortunate to have my family so close, and I know that all of us feel like it's been a gift handed down from generation to generation.
Congratulations to the Cross family. They truly represent the best in Maryland agriculture. A complete listing of the Governor's Agricultural Hall of Fame honorees since the program began in 1991 is available on our Maryland Agricultural Council website. So now it's that time in the program. Go get yourself that nice big bowl of South Mountain Creamery ice cream and that beautiful apple pie from Catoctin Mountain Orchard and join me. We again want to thank our generous sponsors and donors. In a chaotic year, the farming community has once again showed its strength, resilience, and generosity. We're especially grateful to Mid-Atlantic Farm Credit, the Maryland Nursery, Landscape, and Greenhouse Association, Nagel Farm Service, the Maryland Grain Producers, and the Maryland Farm Bureau. Our mission to promote Maryland agriculture will remain strong because of all of you. All of our donors and sponsors, thank you. We also would like to thank Randy Mariner and Manor Hill Brewing for letting us host our event here this year. If you haven't been to Manor Hill, I highly recommend it. While we don't know where we'll be gathering next year, we look forward to seeing you all in person at the 52nd Annual Taste of Maryland Agriculture. Here's to a new year where we can forget popular terms that we learned in 2020, such as unprecedented, chaotic, a new normal, and we can pivot to be stronger than ever as brothers and sisters in agriculture and continue to nourish our great state. Cheers.
Farm Credit supports rural communities and agriculture with reliable, consistent credit and financial services in good times and bad. We provide loans to farmers and ranchers, farmer-owned cooperatives, rural homebuyers, agribusinesses, and rural infrastructure providers. As cooperatives, we're locally owned and governed. We help agricultural producers feed the world. For America's farmers, Farm Credit, supporting rural communities and agriculture. Learn more today.
We're still waking up every morning, and we're putting our boots on, and we're going to work, and we're farming. That's all we know how to do. So we're going to continue to do that.
We are going to continue to produce food enough for the entire country.
It's far from business as usual in cities and towns across America. But we want you to know that America's farmers and ranchers are still farming, working diligently in their fields, barns, and orchards to continue feeding America today and tomorrow, just like we do 365 days a year.
Farmers care, otherwise they wouldn't go into the season
totally unknowing if there's going to be a 2021 season for them. I think they do that every year. I think that's the salt of the earth, good heart of people who grow food.
We're proud to serve the men and women who treat their work as a calling, not a job. Of course, farmers can't do it alone. To all the farm suppliers and grocery store clerks, thank you. We do not take you for granted. Resiliency is part of farming, and believing in tomorrow is core to a farmer's creed. We are all in this together.
Strong.
So a little kid grows up, decides he wants to be a farmer. It's not because he wants to play the market or make big business decisions or fool with the crop insurance.
It's the stewardship of the land, the challenge of producing a bumper crop, and everything else that goes into that.
We create a market where he can sell his product. There's nothing quite as gratifying and as rewarding as people in agriculture that are working with a mission to feed the world.